Welcome to Fanside presents the Bunn Sons, and I'm Owen.
And I'm Riley.
And today we have the owner of Fuel Media Lab, producer and director of NASCAR Pinty Series races on TSN, among others, Joel Robinson. Thanks for joining us, Joel.
Awesome to be here, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good.
That's good.
So we're going to ask you a few questions. Riley will ask his first, then I'll ask mine.
Okay.
My first question is, how long have you covered motorsports?
Well, I've been covering motorsports full time since 1994. So that's 27 seasons.
Wow.
But when I was a kid, I used to go to Mosport and I used to go to motorcycle races because my dad was doing the same thing I'm doing, and he was doing that since 1970.
Wow.
Just before I was born. He actually was doing it before then, but he did like the first Formula One Grand Prix, stuff like that.
Cool.
Pretty cool. So he used to drag me around to those events. And so I got a little taste. But stock car racing was my first one was in 1994 at Delaware Speedway. It was the Mopar 250. And Jim Lapsevich won the first ever race I did.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My second question is, how many running shoes do you have?
I go through a lot of shoes. I learned to buy good shoes as I got older. My sketchy little Vans didn't work out so well. So what I do is I got a little secret. I wear 2 pairs of shoes a day, not at the same time, but I wear one for about 4 hours, 5 hours. I take them off, let the feet swell up a little bit, and put a new pair on. And that way I'm good to go.
My final question is, what is your favorite part of producing the races?
Definitely race day, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what stories are going to happen. You never know the tricks guys are hiding. And it's my job to make those stories come to life, and my team's job. So it's fun. I get to interact with all the teams and the fans. As you know, the Pinty series is very open to meeting the fans and meeting everybody, because that's the kind of community it is.
So now I'll go. What other motorsport series do you cover?
Well, usually I cover a bunch of different ones. In 2020, it was a little bit quiet than normal. But prior to COVID, we had 51 races to do. And obviously that didn't happen. But before COVID, in 2019, we did the Nissan Micro Cup Series. We streamed that. Then we did the Porsche GT3 Cup Series. And that was 10 races, I think. And we did the Canadian Touring Car Championship. And we did some APC races. And we did some Oscar Hot Rod Series, which I know you guys are big fans of. And we do some bigger series that we help out with. Yeah, so all in all, we did in 2019, I think we did about 50 races, and we did over 60 streams.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for my last question, how big is your team that brings us the Pinty series on TSN?
Well, that's interesting. So on an oval race, we take about 10 to 14 people to the track. And if we're traveling, we skinny that down a little bit just to cut down on costs. So guys like Bryce doesn't come because he stays home. He's our research, he's our data guy. And we have a couple other guys that stay home. So we have about 14 at the track, and then behind about 4 or 5 people, audio engineers and video editors that help us out.
That's cool. Cool. So thank you so much for joining us, Joel. It's been a pleasure to see you again.
Thanks, Bunn Sons.
Yeah.